taking part is part of the Cultural Olympiad, and our play concerns a Congolese man who wants to use swimming to get out of the Congo so that he can tell the world about the horrors that are going on in the Congo. And as the Congo hasn't got very much money, they hire one of the low-status coaches, who's a Russian coach called Grigory. And he comes and he sees this man and he says, you can't possibly swim, you're a useless swimmer. I've been brought here on false pretenses, but I'll stay and try and make you better. But such is the ambition of the black swimmer that he manages to get a wild card to get into the Olympics. And he hopes that he's going to meet the press, and he sees the press, hopefully not people like yourselves, and they completely warp what he wanted to say. They're not interested in the Congo, they're interested in the fact that he has a very slow time and they're going to humiliate him and laugh at him. So he thinks, well, I'll use this then. I'll use this to escape from my environment and become part of the Western world and all this lovely free water and all the rest of it, and my ambitions about being true to my sport and my country are all gone. And the coach is really surprised because he thought this bloke was really altruistic and truthful. So their relationship is kind of shattered at the end, but there is some sort of feeling of hope that the two of them might get together again in some peculiar kind of way. So it's a kind of subversion of the idea of the Olympics, but also to do with capitalism and advertising and sponsorship and all the other things that it is part of the Olympics now, part of the sporting tradition. So I am actually going to play the Grigory, who is the coach, who has done on his luck. His wife has left him. His son has moved to London, where he is doing computer games instead of learning to be a philosopher or something useful to society. And now he is stuck with this black athlete, and he says, I can't do much with him, but he starts to realize the ambition of this black swimmer. So he responds to it and thinks, yes, maybe something can happen here. Maybe we can do something together. I would have really liked to have been a barrister, but I didn't have the Latin, and my parents couldn't really afford for me to do it, and also I'm bone idle, so acting seemed the obvious thing to do. But I would have loved to have defended people, not prosecuted. Well, I used to love playing rugby. That's not part of the Olympics. I actually live in Brighton and I swim in the sea from March till October. And this year I actually went on New Year's Day as well. So I suppose swimming might be the thing. Well, absolutely. I mean, these are Olympic themed and it's an excuse to get them on. And there are going to be discussions with athletes, and there's going to be Eddie Izzard doing a stand-up on Olympic themes. So the whole gig is very exciting and very much part of what is going on in London. So yeah, there'll be thousands, millions of people coming to London, and part of the thing is to not only have the sports, but the culture, all our wonderful monuments, all our wonderful happy-go-lucky people that they're going to meet, hopefully, and of course our wonderful weather. Be fantastic. I was probably in the best piece of theatre, which was called The Mysteries, which was the story of the Bible, and I took over from Brian Glover playing God, and the first entrance is on a forklift truck, which went 40 feet up into the air to the very top of the theatre, and then God creates the world, and we had a folk rock band, and the audience were on the floor with us and taking part in it, so it was just a very exciting experience, and you dance with the audience at the end, and it was just sensational the way it was all put together. So that was my favourite thing, because it was like you were in it, but the audience were the main thing. I was at the Royal Shakespeare Company, and there was a play called Penny for a Song, and at the end of the play, I came on and sort of wrapped everything up while two characters were sitting there, and I say, well, that's it then, good night, sir, good night, miss, I'm off down to the apple orchard now. And one night I was actually standing in the wings, talking to the company manager, and there was a long silence. She said, what's going on? I said, I don't know. Seems very quiet. She said, oh, you're meant to go on. I said, oh, yeah. And it was too late. The person in the sound box, there had been 2 minutes silence on stage, and the lights came down, Paul Gambaccini, the DJ, he came around to the dressing room and said, "Oh, it was amazing at the end of the play when there was just silence, and then slowly the lights came down." But I'm just so embarrassed. These two poor actors left sitting on stage saying, "Where is he? Where's he going to come on and finish the play?" And we're having, "Oh, yeah, I know. It's quite well tonight, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, it's a bit funny, isn't it? What's going on? Oh, I don't know. Oh." That was embarrassing. Affirming, moving, and funny.